is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
Good evening. It's Friday night here in Los Angeles. It is 9 p.m. And in other parts of the world, it's a happy day. And for people watching us in the Philippines, magandang tanghali po. It's Saturday at 12 noon. Maraming salamat sa pagsama niyo sa amin today. For the other parts of the world, good day, magandang umaga, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is an exciting day because I've been trying to get hold of this friend of mine, and she is a beauty queen. She is an actress, and she is the Darna of everybody. So this is so timely because finally I will introduce you because I think everybody knows who she is. None other than my good friend, Anjanette Abayari. Hi, Anjanette. How are you? Hi, AJ.
Hi, Josh. Long time. How have you been?
I'm so excited because now we're going to talk about all the things that from your past, about Darna and all that. But before anything else, would you like to greet our audience across the globe?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy this segment of Alam Mo Ba?
On PHLB. We are live po tayo ngayon sa PHLB Facebook page, also PHLB Radio on YouTube. People who are not subscriber yet, please do subscribe. For those people naman who are not online right now, you could watch us on live streaming, live na live din po sa iTunes, iHeartRadio, and also on Apple Podcasts. Those people who are not able to watch us tonight because of scheduling, what have you, or it's okay, you could watch all the replays on our website, www.phlbradio.com, or you could go to our website and YouTube, PHLB Radio, as well as PHLB Radio Facebook page. So you could watch all the shows that you missed. You want to watch it as a replay, and everything is there. Not only Alam Mo Ba with Jush Andowitt, but all the other wonderful shows that PHLB Radio are showing right now. Okay? So madaming question, AJ, and so many people were so excited when they found out you're the guest because people would like to see how beautiful are. When they saw the poster, AJ, they were so excited. They said, God, she has not aged a bit. So meron bang sikreto dyan? How beautiful you are? You have maintained the Darna figure?
Right? No, I don't know. Good genes, healthy living, good food. You know, you have to eat well. I exercise a lot, and of course, you know, our own little secret, Josh, our common denominator.
Yeah. Some surprises for you. So. This is the thing. A lot of people are asking if the questions that I normally would ask are given to our guests. No, they are raw, and some of the people are already texted me, and some they ask questions. So of course, this is all new, and I said this is going to be fun. So AJ came into the consciousness of everyone else. Well, firstly, AJ, talk to us about your childhood.
My childhood, well, I was born in the Philippines, and I lived there until I was 8, and then I moved out to LA at the age of 8, and I grew up here, you know, like until I went back for binibining. So,
but you grew up in Iloilo, right?
Yes, I was born in Iloilo, and that's where I grew up. So I speak, Ilonggo. I speak the Karaya dialect.
Your mom is the Ilonggo.
Yeah, my mom is Ilongga. Yeah, she's
from Davao, you said, right?
Yes. He's from his grandparents are from Davao, or his dad is so. But he's from Manila, he grew up in Manila.
True what they said about Ilongga women. Basta Ilongga, guapa. Correct?
Yes. No. Diba our current Miss is Ilongga right now?
Yeah, si Rabia Mateo.
Yes, you see.
It's so funny when they advertised her to be the first binibini from Iloilo. I texted Gafud, Jonas. I said, no, that's not true. The first Ilongga was Anjanette Abayari in 1991. As a matter of fact, I have a surprise for you. Go ahead, roll BTR.
Uh-oh.
In a contest like this, everybody has their favorites, and I'm unabashedly saying that candidate number 3, Anjanette Abayari, is my favorite. You guys hear that? I hope she wins. Okay? Great. Hey, I already have a girlfriend, huh? I understand that you would like to be the first Filipina astronaut, and you are in fact taking aerospace engineering at California State University. Could you tell me a little bit about why you chose this course? It's really esoteric.
Well, aerospace engineering is the technology of study of space and exploration, and I am very intrigued with space, and I would like to know what's out there.
Wow. Good answer. Look, if you did become the first Filipina astronaut, what would you like to do? Would you like to go on a shuttle flight orbiting the Earth? Would you like to go to another planet? What would you like to do?
I'd like to go to the moon to see if there's really a man on the moon.
All right, candidate number 3.
Okay.
That's hilarious, I swear.
TJ, I was there in Araneta. I was a balikbayan then, and that was my first Binibini Pilipinas.
Oh, really?
Get ticket.
Tell me that.
You and I saw you. I don't know you then because when you guys were all parading, and I said to my assistant, she's gonna win, and you have not even talked. I don't even know your background because you were outstanding there.
Oh, thank you.
but the way you project yourself, the confidence was so, and without a doubt, and that's why it was a big deal between me and my assistant. I said, that lady right there, and then when you spoke during the interview with Apa Umping, and it's so weird because during that time, supposed to be the host cannot give like their own personal opinion.
I know. It was a controversial thing after. Yeah. Naging controversial. That was so controversial after. It was in the newspapers and everything because, it was like, it was like, oh no. So, and the reason why I was so, I was quiet, did you see me, my reaction? I couldn't say a word because in my head I thought, oh my God, they're going to think I flirted with this guy. Oh no, they're going to think I'm so malandi and everything. And I didn't want them to think that of me.
But you're so beautiful even way then.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's so weird because I read an article, I think it was Esquire, and you said that you always have this insecurity about being beautiful, that you're more of the brain person, and then that's why you try for Binibini because you want. What was that all about? Because when I was reading, I said, what the hell is she talking about? You were outstanding. You were stunning.
Thank you. I think it's because by growing up, I was a black beauty. I was called the black beauty because I was so dark. My father was light complected, and I was like the dark horse. So I always had this insecurity about myself. I always, my dad always pushed the brains, the intelligence. Never said I was beautiful. Never, never gave us compliments like that. It was more about what we could achieve with our brains. So I never felt like I wanted some attention to be pretty. So my whole life, I was always the smart one. I'm like, I wonder if I'm pretty. I want to know if I'm pretty. I never thought I was pretty because I stood out like a sore thumb. That's why.
Yeah, because your skin color, it's what you call it's not dark, it's morena.
But that's what they used to call me. My family was like that. They just called black beauty. That was my.
During that, I know this is like so far away, 1991, but you knew right away that you're a standout in that contest because the whole Araneta, every time you walk, we were clapping and people were cheering. And I know for a fact you don't know all these people.
Yeah,
But we were
right?
for you because you were stunning, and you were like, you know, it's not like you were like, we know right away. It was like
Well,
you were the crowd favorite.
well, like I think I wasn't, I was so, I was so self-absorbed at the time, just worrying about everything that I was projecting well. That night I had a spotlight from heaven. I felt it on me. Like because I prepared for this pageant. I was very ready for this pageant. Dr. Manzano was my mentor, and my dad and every weekend we would train me and ask questions and teach me how to walk and talk and say all the right things and answer all the current events. And backstage the whole week in Araneta, all I heard was the rumors of, oh yeah, they're gonna pick Patty Batita because she's tall.
Yes.
They were into the tall thing. Yes,
Yeah.
they were into the tall girls, and like Jem was the one before. She was the one who crowned me, and they were all tall. All these girls were the models, the PMAP models, I remember. So I come from out of nowhere. I just happened to just pop in and just, I kind of like was not expected. I don't think. I kind of threw a screw into their plans.
I heard that because that batch was Patty Betita, and she the international crown, but everybody was rooting for you, especially when you answered that question. It was a clincher.
Oh yeah, when I answered that question and everybody clapped, I was like, phew.
When you talk about aerospace engineering, the first thing that like there's like silence, and they said, most people say, what was that? And secondly, like, oh my God, she's so intelligent.
Yeah, it was great because I don't think I even ever mentioned that, but when I applied for Annapolis after high school, the Naval Academy, and so because my lolo was a brigadier general in the Philippines, and I have a picture with him and MacArthur together, General MacArthur, and he wanted someone from all his grandchildren, one of us, to go into the military academy, and I was like the most likely to succeed. So I went to Annapolis. Well, I applied for Annapolis and I got accepted into Annapolis for nuclear engineering.
Right.
Oh yeah. So nothing like aeronautical, but it was nuclear, and I didn't want to be in a submarine.
So you decided not to take that because I heard about that, and then you decided to fly to Manila instead and try your luck as a binibini.
Well, I actually had gotten accepted to UCLA at the same time. So I went to UCLA. I was going to UCLA at the time when I went to Manila for Binibining, and that was just a fluke because I had joined Miss Asia USA, and they thought I was gonna win, but one of the judges gave me all zeros across the board, which caused me to not win. And Dr. Manzano, they gave me all zeros. That's before they took out the lowest and the highest kind of thing. So this is before all that. And Dr. Manzano offered me. He said, "Would you like to go to the Philippines? I think you have a great chance for binibining." And I'm like, "For what?" What's that? What's binibining? I didn't speak Tagalog. I didn't understand anything. And I said, "Sure, why not?" At this time, I was already starting to gain confidence in myself, obviously, because I had been doing modeling already and stuff. So I took on the challenge. But it was
by the time though that you flew to Manila for the competition, you're already were you not like part of the music video already?
Oh yeah, I had already done. Yes, I did. David Lee Roth. Yeah, I did one for David Lee Roth. I danced for Prince for the MTV Award.
Yeah.
He actually, Prince asked me out, after the music awards, MTV Music Awards, and I was very, I was only like 20, I think, at the time. So I got scared when his manager asked me. I guess that's how it works, And his manager was like, "Are you Anjanette? Were you in the red jumpsuit earlier?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, Prince would like to know if he can take you for drinks later after the show." And I'm like, I'm like, okay, this is my innocence, okay? You know what I said? I said, "Well, is he nice?" What a stupid question. But that's what I asked, and then I actually declined it because I was scared. Yeah. No,
my God. Imagine, had you accepted, you could be, well, remember what happened to Courtney Cox? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
For Bruce Springsteen MTV as well. And now she. Okay, then let's roll BTR, which is a continuation. Kind of like it's nice to see what happened in 1991. Go ahead, Johan.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Anjanette Abayari from
The 1991 Binibining Pilipinas Universe is... Ladies and gentlemen, candidate number 3, Anjanette Abayari! Presenting the award, 1990 Binibining Pilipinas Universe, Miss Jem Padilla. Thank you, ladies.
At this point, we would like to congratulate all the beautiful winners in tonight's Binibining Pilipinas beauty pageant for the United States.
Oh, nice to see that, right?
Wow, yeah, that was a great night, That was
1991. Can you believe it? It was just like yesterday.
Yeah, right? I feel like it was just like yesterday. That was the beginning of a lot of things.
Yes. Okay, before we continue, we have a lot of people watching us. So Malu Padilla, Lansing, hello everyone. Desi Santos watching from Quezon City. Malu said, hello po, watching from Caloocan City. Shout out for Lansing family. Hello Malu, how are you? Ron Antonio, how are you, Ron? From Wise Guy. And then Oliver Carne.
Hi, Oliver.
Nahir, kamusta AJ? Okay. Jenko, hi Jen, how are you? Oliver said, shinyer ko na sa FB.
Awesome. I want to say hi to my cousin Joy. She's watching. Oh
hi. Si Rogelio Tira-Tira is watching from, used to be Direct TV. Gino Marcus watching from Laguna. And then Josephine De La Torre is from Glendale, California. Hello, Miss Anjanette, sabi nila. Si Gwen. Gwen, hi, how are you? Oh, she said Darna. And Alexander Francisco says Darna with 3 hearts. Edward Manalo is watching. Oh, and ang crush ng bayan, sabi ni. Oh my gosh, there's more people. Anyway, okay. So you won. Let's clear the air. Kasi a lot of people saying, binawi yung corona sa'yo. That was not the case. Okay, because that year you won, right? And then somebody replaced you, and that's Alu Gonzalez, who happens to be the sister of Kulidesma, to represent in Las Vegas Miss Universe. Let's clear the air. You were not dethroned, right, AJ?
I resigned.
For the record.
I resigned. For the record, for once and for all, I was not dethroned. I chose to resign instead of fighting it and getting. It was just I just didn't want all the gulu. I already proved myself. I won, and if they wanted to, take somebody else there or whatever, it was not meant to be. Then I just let it go. Yeah, it was not about my.
Does it cross your mind that had you represented the Philippines at that time, you would have won?
I've heard. I was there at the pageant. They gave me tickets. I went to watch the Miss Universe pageant, and I think the winner that year was my height. I mean, I remember it was Lupita Jones. That's right. It was Lupita
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, wow. Yeah, she was like not so tall, and it crossed my mind. Wow, I wonder if I would have had a chance. With this.
Well, the sad part during that time, dual citizenship is not available. At the time, it would have been different. But I think you
wasn't the case. That wasn't because of citizenship.
It was the residency, because I know at the time, Binibining Pilipinas Charities, they're very strict on residency of 6 months. You have to be in the country for 6 months. Is that right?
That's true. And the thing that happened was somebody from the Miss Universe world told me that someone actually complained about my residency. Which doesn't happen. They said this doesn't happen, and it's very weird. But someone complained about your residency not being met, and usually it happens all the time. But usually the country doesn't usually complain about their own winner. So when I heard that, I said, okay, well, whatever. There's always going to be somebody,
right? So, but what people don't understand, right after that, the controversy and all that drama, you flew back to LA.
Yes,
right?
I
And
think
then you spent 2 years here, and you did your modeling again, and you are part of the LA Raiders.
there's cheerleaders.
Yes,
Yeah,
right?
that's why I came back. I wanted to continue cheerleading for a couple more. I mean, I wanted to continue cheerleading. You know, I like compare the Philippines to here. You know, I would rather be here because I grew up here. I'm used to driving. I'm used to clean. I mean, you know, I was just like, oh, get me out of here as fast as I could. I don't think I could have lived there that whole year anyway. So it was all meant to be.
Culture shock for you, especially
Yes, it was.
coming from here to there. It's way, way, way different.
Yes, it's way different.
Yeah, but then fast forward to 1993. All of a sudden, you decided to go back and try your hands in show business.
Yes.
And you signed up for Viva.
Yes, I did because when I came back because I got bored modeling and cheerleading. I got bored, you know, I get bored easily, and I wanted to do something different. And I told myself someday I might look back on this and say, what if I did? And I didn't want to be that. I don't like that. I don't like that what ifs in life, you know. I wanted just to go for it. So I did. I went for it. And plus, I had a dream when I was like 9 years old. I had a recurring dream of myself back in the Philippines in a two-piece red bikini. You know this? You know this?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my-
I had this dream, and I remember telling my mom because it was like a recurring dream for like a whole month. I kept dreaming about me in Iloilo because that's the only place I knew, flying around in a red two-piece. And I would tell my mom, why am I back in the Philippines? I'm never going back there again, you know, that kind of thing. And I had that dream, and I remember when I landed that role, I knew it was meant to be because God already showed me like my destiny, you know? Yeah.
So the dream is almost like similar to Catriona. Remember Catriona?
Yes,
In this case, it's the mother who dreamt of her in the red dress winning a certain
Oh, that's
pageant.
right. Yes.
After
Yeah.
fast forward to so many years, and then she won. Okay, then when you went there, you became the toss of Philippine show business because you were very sought after actress to be paired with all the best leading man that any actress or any female actress would be able to get. Example, and we'll show you some of the films you did, and you paired with Dolphy.
Yes.
Yeah, Ari King 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 King.
Ang bodyguard kong sexy. That's
Yeah.
what I did. Yes. that
You
was
did
great.
pair with the King, Fernando Poe Jr., ang Shota Kong Balikbayan. This I saw. I saw this
That's my
one.
favorite.
Yeah,
He had that written just for me, that script. He told
Yes,
me.
I heard because
Yeah.
they like that, and you were like suplada there, and then you did a movie with, of course, Philip Salvador,
Mhm.
right? Hanggang
Yes.
yeah, and then of
Hanggang
course, and then there's another one, Talahay Batrosas with
That's
Cesar
right.
Montano.
I did like
And
3 movies with him, I think.
And these are just few of the films that you did. You did, like in a year, you did 2 or 3 at one time.
I think I did more than that in 1 year. Like the first year the first 2 years were a little bit slow, but I had a contract that I had to do 4 movies in a year, or else they would have to pay me anyway. That was my contract with Viva. So they had to give me at least 4 in 1 year.
Now, what happened? I'm curious though, because some of the films that I've seen, now that I got to know you here,
Mhm.
the voice is different. Because some of the scenes, the voice was dubbed for you, I think, especially in the early years. I was right? It was
Yeah,
not.
of course, that's not me because I didn't speak Tagalog. I don't speak Tagalog, period. I mean, I spoke a little Ilonggo, but I'm an English. I'm American. You know, I spoke English. So I had to memorize my scripts. And I mean, literally word for word, I had to memorize all my scripts and my dialogue so that when the dubbing came, they would be able to dub, you know, because I said all the words correctly. I mouthed them all, but I know I said them all like wrong. Somebody had to be there and tell me exactly what was happening, what I was saying in that scene and everything. I just had to act it out and emote and just spit out the lines, you know. And so,
Question: aside from that, you cannot speak Filipino or Tagalog. What about the acting though? Because you did very well on the acting department. Were you acting prior to all this though, or this is just latent talent of yours that you
I
really?
guess. I mean, no, I never took acting lessons, but I think I was not intimidated by with acting in the Philippines because I was unaware of who the big stars were, or who if they were big stars. I didn't know who they were. So it was just like, all right, I was just playing, you know. To me, I was just, let's go, let's do this. I wasn't embarrassed. I didn't know anybody there. I think that was a big plus for me, because here, like, even when I'm asked to do something, and I'm embarrassed because everybody knows me. But there, didn't know a single person, so I just did it because I was expected to, and I wanted to, so I just did it. Yeah.
Before that, though, because now the controversy about the beauty contest and all that a lot of indecent proposal. Did you experience that during your time as a beauty queen? Was there a lot of that was a big deal now, especially for some of the national pageant now in the Philippines in the past 5 years? And I have a feeling.
Proposals from whom?
Dirty Old Man, DOMs.
Oh, well, of course, that was during my pageant, before I became a beauty queen, after I became an actress, when I was a model in the US. I mean, that was like, that was my story, I think, ever since I could remember. I think I was 14 the first time that happened to me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And of course, the film that to this day, you are so well known. I mean, it's so weird because we could talk about all the other films, but there's one film that is really yours.
Yes.
Meaning when they like our people who are watching us today, it's that film. Darna ang pagbabalik.
Yes.
Okay, and this was, you are the last Darna, because of course you had the first one was Lisa Moreno, and then you have Vilma Santos who did it, and then you had Sharon who did it briefly, and then Nanette Bedved. I think you follow Nanette, right? And then you're the last one on film who did that. And to this day, for the record, you are still the last Darna who did that on the big screen. Yeah. Because the rest, ABS has the franchise on Darna until the next few years, and they wanted, as we had the talk about that offline in the past, that Darna is being supposedly to be a film with Liza Soberano, but things didn't happen, and then she backed out of the project, and then now it's gonna be a teleserye. It's gonna be one of those that's gonna be made for TV with Jane De Leon. So to this day, and that's what, 1994.
I know. That seems so long ago. But I'm not.
I mean, if they put the thing of the head on you and the outfit, that would be interesting. And we were talking about it. So look at that.
Oh, that costume was very, very carefully made, so that we had to be very careful, because I know for that costume is very revealing, first of all, for that time, right?
Yes.
At the same time, I did my own stunts. So
yes.
So because of that, I had to make sure that never fell off, during shooting, because hello, they would get more darker than they imagined. So we really had to work on that. I had invisible straps and everything, just making sure.
and then you had the blessing to be working. That's such an honor to be working with Peke and Lori.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love my Direct Peke. He was the best. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed my time with him. He and I really spoke deep about things. He even wrote a poem for me. I have a poem that he wrote for me during that time, and I still have it to this day. It's just, he's an awesome guy.
Yes,
it's
too bad that there was not a part 2 on that. That could have been, because it's so bitin. They could have done it just like what they did with Vilma. There's four series of Darna. They should have. Yeah, and then let's show some clips on the other Darnas. I got some good clips there.
See,
Johan. The flying Darna. See, talk to us about that, because the harness was not available then.
Oh yeah, I was harnessed.
You were?
I was in a harness. Oh yes, it was a metal harness. So it hurt. I mean, like my whole bikini was the harness. So, but that takes a lot of physical strain, because you have to be really fit for that. That's why I think maybe, I don't know if anybody got hurt during any of the shootings, but you had to have a strong back, a strong center, your legs, everything had to be like very fit for you to be able to withstand that thing. Oh, I even had to shoot the commercials for Toyota with that harness on. One of them, I was even holding a Tamarao FX. I was underneath it, and I had this harness, and I was strapped to this truck, and I was like 50 feet in the air, lifted by one of those cranes. And I'm like, oh my God, like I could die like this, right? And the thought crossed my mind because I saw in the ground, they dug a hole in the ground. I go, what's that for? Am I supposed to shoot for that? So I already have an instant grave for that, But they did. I did that for, for Toyota because I had 2 commercials with them as Darna. But yeah, they have a harness and the green screen. There was a blue screen before, not green.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing though is like with that, I mean, because like I was reading some of Vilma. Vilma was like suspended in a rod, like she needs to balance. But I think of all the Darnas I've seen, yours has the Darna Pagbabalik has the best flying scene at that time because it looks like you're really flying. Unlike in the past Darna, even on Madet, it looks like it's a cardboard that they let to shoot. But Lori and Peke did a good job. Like your take off and your landing when you fly, it looks like it's the real thing.
That was a post-production from Hong Kong. I don't know. Yeah, that was the first time that they did that with Darna. So
yeah, it looks like you're really about to take off and you landed, and when you fly, it looks like you're flying. It's not like green screen or anything. So those people who are interested in what we're talking about, it's still available online. You could rent it, or I think it's really available. I think Viva released it. It's Darna ang Pagbabalik, and it stars, of course, Anjanette Abayari, and that's the poster that they used for that particular one. And I think it's still out on DVD as well. And I was able to catch it on YouTube. Yes, portions of it.
Yes. I think
now question: the bato, is that a Mentos? Because everybody's asking. It's a candy. What was that all about? Was that really a bato? What?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah, it was like this rock that they had, and that was the same rock, and it was always like kept safe. And I'm like, I'm not putting that in my mouth, But I would wash it. I'm like, give me it. I'm gonna hold it the whole time we're shooting. It was just a rock. It was just really.
Because I thought they used Mentos.
You would think, right? Yeah, you would think, but no, it was a real rock. And I don't know if you saw the part where I wrestled an 18-foot python.
Yes.
That's a real python.
Seriously? You have no snakes? I was gonna ask you. That's one of the things too. Is that like one of those,
No, the part where I'm tossing it, obviously that's a fake one. But they brought in a real 18-foot python. 9 men had to carry it in onto the set because it was that heavy. It's all muscle. And I remember, I don't know, there's scenes where like I have like a close-up of me and this snake's head. When Direct would say action, the first time I tried, I was on the ground. I had to literally wrap my legs around this python. Okay, and then he'd say action, and I was like this. Direct, hindi ko magalaw, Direct. I can't move his head. So I had to be the one to move and pretend like the snake was moving because I couldn't move its head alone. Oh, that was so crazy. I can't believe I did that.
The things you did. And like what you said earlier, you did your own stunt, and you could tell. Because normally when they do a double, you could tell that they do the hair or it's always behind. Yours, like there's some close up, there's some long shot, there's some.
Oh yeah, my kicks. Yeah, no, I loved it. I was tumbling, because I took gymnastics and I was very athletic, here in the U.S. and I didn't like the appearance of my double at the time. I don't know who it was, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but I didn't. I was like, that's my double, like Direct. Don't you want me to look like me? So he made me do a little trial tumble or trial whatever, and he said, "Okay, you can do your own stunts." Yeah.
Anjanette, you're one of the lucky ones because they have a sisterhood of Darnas. Because only few actresses were blessed enough to be given that role, and for you to be part of that female actresses who did it, especially in your case, you did it on film, and that's why I was telling you earlier, it would have been nice if you will be the one passing the baton to Jane.
Yes, it should be me. I think that's the only way that the movie will ever push through.
Yeah, because like what I told you earlier, Isa was saying that in the interview that she will be passing the baton or the bato to Jane, and so I kind of told a friend, I said it should be AJ, get AJ because it would be a good continuation, like from like she did her part as Darna, and then she's gonna pass it. It would have been more memorable because.
That's how it is here, right? Like the Wonder Woman, like Dylan Carter did it.
Yes.
That's how it is here.
Yeah, that's
how
what
they
they
all
did.
do.
Yeah, or you do a cameo like a Snarda and then pass it.
Yeah,
That
right.
would be cute. That will be something to look forward to, especially you have so much supporters, especially still in the Philippines. That would be a good crowd teaser that hey, the original Darna from the film is back to pass the stone. Because as much as I love Isa Calzado, she was never a Darna.
Oh, then why would she be the one to pass the baton?
That's a
Like,
good
why?
question.
Weird.
Well, they've not done the film yet. Oh, the teleserye yet. You never know. You know how it is. It's never like you know that in show business. It's never fixed until it's done.
Yes.
Until the camera rolls, or sometimes until even the camera is rolling already, they could still replace it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
hopefully we'll send this video to my good friend in ABS and see, look at AJ.
Yeah,
AJ
it still look like me. Yeah.
And then you went back. Okay, then let's show the latest Darna pictures that you did in 2018. Let's see. Look at that. Yeah, this is a look at that.
Esquire
Whole
magazine. Yeah.
series. So it's still there, and look at you now. We just put the headband and the costume.
The crown.
Yeah, you still got it, AJ, and that would be in my mind. That would be so perfect and so fitting if they would like to kind of like get more people to watch it, because at least they would see the Darnang pagbabalik, and this will be the Darna young Darna, Jane De Leon.
Right.
So you never know.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
now, my question to you: are you open to that though, just in case?
Of course, yeah, of course. That would be kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, that would be. Oh, so people who are watching this, and we will be watching, and people who will be watching it on the tape that I'm going to be sending to ABS.
Yes,
She
so
is
hey,
open
open.
to that. She's open to that. So open to that idea. Okay, there's more people watching us. Okay, before we
Alright.
continue, sabi ni, oh my God, there are more people.
Oh, yeah. My
Uh,
cousin Jane is watching. Hi, Jane.
Yeah, Edward Manalo is watching, and then Maricon Agdaba. Wow, di siya nagbabago. Jay Mandel, Peña, Florida.
And that's my
Hi,
cousin.
Jing.
Hi.
Is that
That's
your
what they
cousin?
call me, Jing.
Okay. Then Stella Patino. Hi, Jing. Okay.
Oh, the
And then Mr. Freeze Gerard Santos is watching. Then Lenny Quasito Botial. Hi, Anjanette. You're so pretty pa rin and sexy. Yes, she is very pretty po. Jane Mandel. Love you, Jane. Louis Roma is watching. Louis is, I think, Florida, I think. Louis, how are you?
Hello, Louis.
Marcos is on Banay Laguna. Emma Licas is, I think, si Emma is somewhere in North Hills or something. Feli Alfen, hi Ate Jen, Kuya Josh Andowitt, and lovely guest Anjanette. I think Feli is from Washington, Seattle. Catherine Cruz is the former First Lady of our Congen General, Adele Cruz. I think you met.
Oh, yes, I know them, yes.
Captain Carmi Santos is watching from Quezon City. Cesar Ong is watching from Quezon City. Hi, AJ. I like her. And then Reggie Consolacion. Hi, Ange.
Hi,
I see you. Yeah, so hello po to everybody. Yeah, so we're having a conversation about Darna.
Yes.
Now, so with all the things you left in 1999, you left. Okay, you left the country and then you decided to come back here in the States.
Yes.
Okay, and you just had and I called it before that was your MOA. I don't even know where you were. And the only reason why I know your whereabouts is because your aunt is a good friend of mine, Awi Abayari.
Auntie baby,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
It's so funny because, like, we were doing events together. I said,
Okay, yeah.
Abayari, by chance, do you know Anjum? I said, yeah, she's my niece. I said, oh, how is she? She's in LA, but she's MOA, missing in action. But and it was that. Now, I have a question for you. Learning wise, would you have changed it? Like, would you have gone back in 1993 to join the Showbizlandia of Philippines, or is that something that you would have avoided?
Oh no, everything I've done has led me to this point in my life, and I would not change anything.
Really?
Yes, really. Everything that I went through has made me the person I am now, and I think this was God's plan for me all along. So I'm taking that path because this is what He had planned for me all this time.
Now, AJ, what would you say to an 18-year-old AJ?
18.
The 18-year-old AJ, what would you have said to her or advised her?
I would have told the 18-year-old AJ to have more to believe in herself more, to stay God-centered, like stay focused and stay away from all the boys. that there's plenty of time for those guys. Just work on your career and yourself, and you'll be fine. Yes, those are the only things I could have done over the choices. But
what lessons would you tell the young people of today that because nowadays in our generation, especially, it's so different then than now. Lesson learned that you could impart to them at this stage.
Well, one of the things I believe that I've learned is that when we are thrown into something like of that magnitude or of anything in life, we tend to, when we see success or anything else, we tend to lose sight of ourselves. And that's something that we should never lose sight of, is who we are. And I'm very religious. So I'm very much, I think you have to stay, prayerful and always listen to Him, be close to God, and always hear what He has to say to you, because, there's nothing that everything He has for you is good and perfect. And I think I would just really want everyone to just stay on that path, because that's what I would have done differently. Only I lost myself for a little while. Yeah.
So it's true that the stardom, the money, and then being sikat can really harm a person. Is that?
Well, it's because there are different ways that it can affect a person. Mine was more of I wanted to stay. Mine was more of the pressure of staying on top.
Yeah.
Staying perfect, and like the way everybody saw me, and I had to like live up to this image which I created for myself. So that was my thing, was just that. And I think I got enough of, I became very claustrophobic in the Philippines after a while. I couldn't do anything because everybody knew me, and everywhere I went I was not alone, and I felt like I was living in a glass house. That's how it felt. I wasn't about like the money or anything like that. It didn't affect me. It was more of just, I'm a very private person. So all of a sudden I was owned by the public. Like FPJ used to tell me that, he said, you're owned by the public now. So if you don't feel good, if you're not in the mood to smile at your fans, then don't go outside. He told me that. Yeah.
That's right. Because like if you don't smile, then you're suplada.
Yes.
If you smile too much and be friendly, then you're flirtish.
And plus, I didn't have anyone there that I wasn't, everybody, my friends and family were all here. So I pretty much had to fend for myself. I had my tita who was helping me there, but after a while, I'm alone, and I'm thousands of miles away in a culture that I was not familiar with, and in showbiz to top it off. So, I think I was going on it kept me going. I was on top for so long because I was prayerful, and I didn't lose sight, for a while, but after a while you just get lost. It swallows you up, and showbiz can do that to people. It can swallow you up. You know,
Right.
you just forget who you are. You feel like you don't know where you are anymore. You don't know who you are anymore because everybody's just coming at you from all different directions. It's really good to know who you are. If that's why I don't recommend anyone going into showbiz until after they're an adult, you know, because forget it. That's why all these little kids that are, you know, even the people that are beauty pageant contestants, you know, a lot of these girls, I feel bad because they're so young and they start so young and they don't have their values or their morals or their standards yet set. And who's dictating that for them are people in that world. And that is just, sometimes it's not, I'm not saying that everybody in that world is bad, but yeah, they just, you know, the wolves tend to find, you know, the sheep. And my dad used to say, be careful of the wolf in sheep's clothing, which is totally true in showbiz and beauty pageants and anything of that world, you know? Yeah.
And now you are a mother of two beautiful, handsome looking boys. That's Aiden and Ashton. Now, I was asking you earlier offline, would you let them go to show business? Because they're really, really good looking boys.
Yes, well, they are. They're very talented, but they're also intelligent and they're very, they have a lot of things going for them. So they know I won't allow them to do that until after college. There's no choice there. I said, you're going from high school to college. And then after that, you decide what you want to do. It's up to you. That's your thing. But up until that point, there's no choice. No, none. I won't. If I was pushed to go to college, you know, I would have had a different life, I'm sure. Yeah, but I think if I decided after college to go into showbiz, it would have still been there for me. You know, it's not going anywhere. You know.
How old now? 14.
14. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
And then Ashton is 11.
And Ashton is taller than me already. Yeah, he's like 5'9" or something. Yeah, I wish he would come in here. I told him to come in here and say hi, but he's just shy. They're shy. Actually, they're shy. You know, but they're both very talented. Aiden sings. Ashton taught himself how to play the piano. I mean, like, it's amazing. You know, I'm very blessed, and they're also very good kids. You know, they're very good boys.
Was that a lot of adjustment being a mom in your case?
Oh yes, because I never wanted to be a mom. I never wanted to have kids. I remember because I didn't want to lose my figure. It was, you know, when you're young, I mean, you're single and it's all about me, right? We're so self-centered when we're single and young. But when I became a mom, all that changed. You know, it's like not about you anymore, ever again. Never again is the world going to be revolving around you. You know, never. I mean never with a capital NEVER, because everything is about your kids. Yeah.
Now, what was the most challenging being a mom in your case? Actually, two boys, because a girl.
Well, you know, the most challenging for me is because I have boys and I grew up a girl. That is the most challenging for me. I call my brother a lot because I ask him, should I be doing something else? Should I be teaching them something right now, or who's going to talk to them about the changes in their body? I have to buy them books. You know, because I can't talk to them about things like that, because, you know, which is why I'm so glad Gary's in our lives now, because, you know, he's a great role model for them. You know, but yeah, the most challenging thing for me is that I have to make sure that I don't overspoil them, but that they make sure that they feel loved. But I also have to be very consistent with disciplining them the proper way and teaching them from right and wrong. And, you know, I've taught them Bible verses in the last couple of years, and they've memorized like A through Z's. And we do, you know, I wanted to teach them to go the right way, you know. That's the most challenging part, because this world is just crazy now. And if we don't teach our kids at a young age, teach them when they're young, and when they grow up, you know, they'll know. So, yeah, you have to teach them young, and you have to be consistent with everything you teach them. That's what I've learned.
Okay, now, even though you came back in the States, you still did a lot of Filipino shows, because I meet you. We met in several of those, and then I know you did one of the local magazine. You did a cover one time. Mm-hmm. Johan, can you show that? And people saying like, "Look at that!"
Yeah, that's the last cover I've done that I did. Yeah, that was like
last one, the Miss magazine, right?
Yes.
And there's a good spread on that one. I didn't bother to show it.
Yeah, that was a great photo shoot actually.
Yeah. I think Phil did it. Phil Ner, or Philip Ner.
Yeah. Because he had taken a picture of me when I was doing the beauty Binibining USA. Yeah, when I was doing that, I was their coach, and he happened to take a picture of me. One of those days I was coaching them, and it looked great. I'm like, how did you make me look like that when I looked so yucky that day? So I'm like, okay, I want him to do it. Yeah, I just remember, I'm like, you are a good photographer. Yeah.
Now, move forward. Now you are engaged to a pastor, because everybody's talking about AJ is engaged with a pastor.
Well, let me correct that. He's not he used to be a pastor, I think, but he is not. He's an evangelist, so it's different.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't have his own like church, but he has written a book. He has his doctorate in theology, and he's an evangelist, and that's who I'm with now. That's who I'm about to marry.
Okay, how did you guys meet? Because on all the interviews that I watched and I read, there was no mention on the meeting. Is that something you could share with us?
Of course, we met because we met at a Bible study. Okay. It was really meant to be. I think God's hand was in it the whole time. He was the Bible study instructor, and I was invited to this Bible study by my girlfriend, whom I had just seen the week before. I was talking to her about God and these things that were happening to her, and I had discerned some people in her life that were not good. So she invited me to the Bible study, and that's when I walked in, and that's when I met him, and I guess I made an impact. But I knew right away. You know when they say, like, when you meet that person?
It's the right person, yes.
That's the only time that I could actually say that is true. That saying is true. You know when you meet the right person.
Well, did Gary know who you are?
No. He had no idea. He goes, because my girlfriend Amy, she said, hindi mo ba kilala? Because Gary has been here since 1979. He's been here also. So he didn't have any. He said that Amy said that I was Darna, and he said, Darna, but the last Darna I saw was black and white. So he's like, that could not have been her. And then she was like, she's Binibining. But he had no concept of who I was, because he has been here for all this time. So and I think that was a good thing that he didn't. Yeah. Because he treated me like a normal person would treat me. I wouldn't have liked him if he would have been like a fan,
That's right.
Yeah, I would have been like, oh, okay, you're just a little bit too, accommodating. But he was normal, he was just normal, and he was shy. I mean, like, he didn't ask me out. The first 2 dates were not dates. They were, he had asked my girlfriend to ask me out to dinner, and he just happened to go with her, because he wanted to get to know me more. But the first time we all met, it was like a group of us, and some other guy had gotten my attention because he was talking about the Raiders. So I hardly ever talked to him on that night. And so we did it another night, and this time it was just him and Amy, and I thought they were together. So I was clueless, I brought my kids because he wanted to meet them. I didn't know all this. And then after the end of the night, we got along and everything. So and then after, I don't know when it was after that, we like never like dated, like we would go out and he met my mom, and it was just, I don't know, it just was normal. It just felt like the right thing. And he asked me if I was willing. I was going back to the Philippines. Am I ever going to go back? Am I planning to live here? He needed somebody that would be, would be with him in his ministry, and all of that. And I was like, okay, it was, yeah. It was
okay. Before we continue, we have more people who wants to shout out.
Oh yeah, my Tita Ida. All my relatives are on this. No, my Tita Ida, my cousin Daphne are all here.
Yeah, Sarday Born says hello. And then, it says Daphne Aguilar says, nice seeing you live online, AJ.
Hello.
And then, amazing answer. Daphne said, hi, Daphne. Smart and beautiful. Jenaline De Chavez is watching from Liliw, Laguna. Hello, AJ. And then Miss Anjanette Abayari, you're so beautiful. God bless. And then Anastasia Francis Catalan. Hello, Anjanette. Oh my gosh, we're so, and they're still hooked up on Darna.
That's how everybody remembers me.
Darna. Oh my God, they cannot believe that you have not changed. People are saying, that's Darna.
That's
He's
nice.
still Donna.
Yeah, the outside hasn't changed, but the inside sure has.
Well,
Definitely.
well, so what's the beauty secret?
My beauty secret?
Yeah.
I don't know. Peace. I have peace. My beauty secret is I have Jesus. I have the Holy Spirit inside me, and I am glowing, and I'm peaceful, and I'm content, and I'm just happy. I think
Yeah, I'm very happy because you've always been happy.
That's
you're
true.
you're so peaceful now.
Yes, it's that's what it is.
Yeah, and then I met Gary at Dr. Tess's clinic, the old clinic in Beverly Hills, and, you introduced me to him, and he seems to be a very nice guy.
Yeah, he is. You know, when you first meet a person, you're not sure if they're like fake or real because sure you're all about Jesus. You know how I know how many men I know that are all fake, right? So I wasn't sure if he was. I still had to wait and see, like, is he really? Is this really him? Is this really how he is, or is this just a pretend to try to, But it's like he's the way he is. He's just constant, and he just lives for Jesus. I know.
Yeah, but you're engaged now with him, right? You're engaged.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. I will not tell you. No. Yeah, we're together. Basta.
So because all the write-up says you're engaged, so I said, well, it's time to ask.
We got engaged. Yeah, we got engaged like a year ago, so a year and a half.
And everybody is texting me, can we see him? So can we?
Oh, he will not get on camera.
No, we have a picture.
Oh gosh. Oh,
that's him.
That's him.
Yeah, and there's another one we have of you and him.
Oh, yes, that was that's how we are all the time. That's how we are. We're just.
See, look at that smile, AJ. That's
I'm happy right there. I'm very happy right there.
Look at that. Your eye says it all.
Yeah.
Very content.
Yes.
Very happy. Very peaceful.
It's just just
now.
Yes.
Very into now.
Because it's just nice to have someone who, it's that's one thing. If you're looking for a guy, make sure he's God-fearing, please. I think it makes all the difference when somebody has God in their lives because, they're not gonna be manoloco. They're not, they're more. I don't know. It's just better. Yeah.
So now that I would assume he knows now who you are, right? After all.
Yeah. We went on a cruise to Alaska a couple of years ago, and still at that point he didn't realize how big I was. I never talk about it really, to anyone. And we went on this cruise, and the cruises are like 70% Filipino.
Filipinos, yes.
Well, I wasn't aware of that. Neither was he. And the first night we had dinner in the big dining, the formal dining restaurant. My table was in the center of the whole thing, like from everybody from above and below. Everybody, we were in the center. There was like an 8-seater, but it was just him and I. And he couldn't eat. Like he was like, oh my God, because everybody wanted to take pictures, and I'm gonna accommodate everybody.
Yeah,
and,
from the guests to the crew, yes.
And then even to the Americans who said, who is she? So they're like taking pictures, asking him to join us, and he's like, no. He didn't like to be like the center, so he just like stayed back. But he liked the perks of it because like we wouldn't finish our dinner, and we would have a whole dinner sent to our room, and whatever. I got coffee all day, every day, pastries at night, whatever. They were so nice on that cruise. It was great, but he was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot eat. I don't know. I'll never go on a cruise with you again.
Well, that's because you're Darna to a lot of people to this day.
Yeah.
And I remember in one of your you said the perks of being Darna, aside from being one of the iconic Filipino superhero, is because the kids finally got to know who you are.
Yes, and I love those. I love the kids. Ever since I've always had this soft part for the kids, and I love that I was Darna and I could like hang out and play with all these kids. That was the best part of Darna actually for me. When I was touring with Toyota, we went all over the Philippines, because I had to tour with them for the Tamaraw, went to everywhere, even Davao we went to. And I just remember the kids would run up to me, and the kids are so innocent and they're so happy, and they're like, wow, because, they don't know who I am. They think I'm really Darna. And it was so cool because That was the best. That's what made it all worth it for me. You know, it was awesome. I loved it. That was great.
How about the boys now? Your sons. Do they have any inkling on
Oh, no,
who
they know who
Darna
I am. Oh, they know because I made them watch it when they were younger. And I remember they watched this movie and they would look at me like, wow, right? You know, like, wow.
is? Because that's the Filipino Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
That's the
and then-
Filipino Wonder Woman.
And I didn't realize that they really believed it until we were in the pool one day and we were swimming. And my son says, "But mommy, where's the stone?" I said, "Oh, well, I can't tell you. No, that's very, very top secret because your life will be in danger if I tell you. But we won't tell mommy. We won't tell anyone." It's just funny because they were so innocent and it's so cool. But they know now. Obviously, they know who Darna is, and every time we go anywhere Filipino, they're just expecting already like somebody's gonna come up. And Aiden goes, because usually when he's with me and we go to these events, I'll ask him to hold I have to ask him to hold my bag or something, and he goes, the drawbacks of being the son of a famous person. And I just start laughing.
Because think about it. I mean, of all the things you've done, I mean, you've done so many movies, but this one was a standout for you. And at the same time, nobody has done it in the movie. So imagine the span of time from your 1994 Darna, there was no other Darna at all. There was several Jezebel, but not Darna. And then every time they try to do a Darna, it's like there's a curse or a jinx with the actors playing it. And now, hopefully, Jane De Leon would be able to deliver because it's supposed to be done late this year up to first quarter of next year. And who knows, like what we said earlier, until the camera rolls, we don't even know if that's going to be...
Until the movie is out on the screen, you never know.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. But imagine, of all 1994 to this day, you are...
That's a long time, huh? How many years is that? That's a
long
time.
time.
I know. Let's not count.
Yeah, that's not
But,
count.
But yeah, no, it is a very long time, and I think I met the wife of Mars Ravelo when I was given the role. She was there. Yeah, she was there at Viva, and then Boss Vic introduced me to her, and I remember she said to me, "If my husband were alive, you would be the perfect Darna for him."
Yeah.
She told me that, and it was like, wow, that was such a nice compliment.
Yeah, because on the magazine that all the pictures, the drawings, Darna was voluptuous. Seriously. I mean, really, and then
Yes.
Morena, it's not supposed to be mestiza, it's supposed to be a Morena. Because it's supposed to be a Filipino.
Right?
Yeah, Filipina, right. And you played so well. I mean, you guys need, people who are listening and watching, you need to watch that. Darna ang pagbabalik. And you see AJ in action. And that's why that role still stick with her to this day.
Yes.
It would be difficult to duplicate that on what you have done, because look at that, almost perfect. Imagine, look at that, even the abs.
Even the abs, I know, right? Yeah.
And that's under Photoshop, you know that.
No, there's no Photoshop back then.
Yeah, there's no Photoshop at the time. Yeah.
Right.
Now, because of all the things you've done, you are a vlogger now. Okay, now we fast forward to now. What was the epiphany? Because now you are more spiritual.
Yes.
I sense that in you the past few years that I talked to you, especially now.
I think, you know what? I've always...
Not that you're a bad... AJ, just for the record, not that you're a bad person, but you're so spiritual now. And then it's funny, and we'll tell them as we progress with our conversation, because you do a lot of scripture reading now.
Yes,
and we'll tell them later where to find you and all that. What was the epiphany for you?
I think I've always been spiritual. Even before the day that I went to go try out for Binibining, I remember this. I had this moment where the Holy Spirit came upon me. It's just been like a journey for me with going back and forth, being far away and near to Jesus, God, and far away and near because of the my choices and the consequences and things like that. But my epiphany was because I was praying and I was complaining and I was always I was not grateful for where I was or what has happened because I was still bitter about some things. And there was a point where I suddenly I realized that God has placed me where I'm supposed to be right now, and And until I accept that, and until I put my life into his hands, nothing else is going to happen, because I've been trying to do it my way. So at that point, I said to myself, I consciously made the decision to give it to him, and at that point, everything just kind of like happened, and there was never a hitch. And I always knew it was from him. Everything good and perfect comes from him. And everything was just like one after another. Things were just coming and in the right way, and just everything was just perfect. And I haven't looked back since. Even my scriptures that I've done on video, I never imagined I could do a video. I didn't know how to make videos. I was thinking, okay, we need a videographer, an editor, and all those things, because I've never taken classes on videography. And yet, the moment that I realized that, at the moment I prayed and said, Lord, if this is how you want me to repay you for everything you've done for me, show me how to do it. And he showed me. So I know that this is how I repay him for, everything that he's done in my life. I mean, he's done so much. I've always known that, though.
No, a lot of in your lifespan for now, up to now, I know for a fact that there's a lot of people who have hurt you. Have you forgiven them?
Oh yeah, I have. I forgave everyone. I've forgiven everyone. It took me a while to forgive some, longer than others. But you're allowed to be angry, and you're allowed to, to feel pain. But you just have to let it go. Because if you don't forgive the Father, God won't forgive us either. If you don't forgive those who've hurt you, then how do you expect God to forgive us? Right? So I have forgiven.
During those trying times or dark times that you went through, did you ever blame God?
Never. No, I never blamed him. That's the thing.
Were you upset at him?
No, it was not his fault.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people asking us on my other radio show, like when bad things happen to good people, there's normal. I'm throwing the question to you now.
Yes.
Is it okay to be upset at the Lord or to be doubtful? Especially like what happened to you. Share with us what happened to you during those times.
Oh, when those dark times, I never once was upset with him. I knew it was not his fault, because the choices we make, we have free will. And it's our choice what we do, that we choose to do the right thing or the wrong thing. And when we do the wrong thing, we have to pay the consequences for it. And of course, God will forgive us if we ask him for forgiveness, but that doesn't mean we don't pay consequences. We still have to pay the consequences, and we cannot blame him if it was our choice. And that's what a lot of people, I think, don't want to take the accountability for, because you have to be accountable for your actions, right? Yeah. And until you're accountable for it, you accept it, you ask him for forgiveness, you repent, and you move past it, then you're going to be stuck. And who wants to be stuck in a world of anger and pain and bitterness? And also people who are called by God, the devil wants you more. So there's always going to be the people. That's what I always was told. And I remembered that because one of my friends told me that when I was still in showbiz, because if you have something important that God has planned for you, the devil will throw everything he can so you never find out what it is. See, and you might fall. And I always remembered that. So I would always, when I fell, I would just say, man, what is it that I'm supposed to do? I have to stop being weak, and I had to just find my strength. And but sometimes it takes a while, and that's because we hurt, and we're allowed to feel pain. We're supposed to, but he never forsakes us. He won't leave us. He'll never, he's like, leave the 99 to look for the one. That was me. I was that one sheep that he didn't leave alone. Even though I was out in the world in darkness and I was lost, he never left me, right? So he won't leave us. And we can be angry with him, but it's not his fault. It's not his fault. There's and sometimes there were things that happened to me and I said, why? I didn't do anything. I didn't hurt anyone. I was never mad at him, but I could question. You're allowed to question, because his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. We do not know what he's thinking. We don't know his plans for us, but his plans will always prevail, right? So we just have to trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, and that's very hard.
Now, AJ, when you look at yourself in a mirror, for example, there's a mirror in front of you.
Yeah.
What do you tell AJ now? The AJ now. What do you see?
Oh, me now, the AJ that I see now, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of where I am, what I have become now. I'm proud of the fact that I was able to find the meaning, or the purpose, the calling that I have. Because I know that I learned how to cook. I didn't know how to cook ever. This pandemic taught me how to cook. I'm a mom. I don't know how to cook for my kids. I'm like, okay, let's go to McDonald's or fast food, pizza. I mean, geez, of course they get that, but that was the one thing I couldn't do. I couldn't cook, and I hated that. Now I can cook adobo and all these other Filipino things. It's pretty cool. And during the pandemic, I learned how to play the keyboard, because I used to play piano.
All right, wow.
Yeah, so I can play keyboard. I can play any song now practically. I told myself not to. I told my kids, I said, we're not going to be in this pandemic and not get anything out of it. So I made it a point for us to, learn, like study the Bible, learn verses. I taught myself how to play keyboard. My son taught himself how to play the keyboard. Just everything that's not, so you're not stagnant. So you're always becoming a better person every day, in some form, some way. So I look at myself now and I'm proud of, the things I know I've done a lot of things in my life. I'm proud of the things I've done. I may not have made the right decision all the time, but, it led me to where I am today. So I wouldn't change anything, Yeah.
AJ, what legacy would you like to leave to your kids?
What legacy would I like to leave to my kids? Well, because I'm so into my spiritual, my Jesus now. That's the one thing that I wish my parents taught me was the Bible, like just to learn all of the verses, all of the parables, just to learn to know Jesus and to just be that's what I want to leave for them, because it's so important. That's the most important thing. I want to see them in heaven. I want to see you in heaven too, Josh.
I want to be in heaven too. I want to see you there.
Yeah, so I think that's the most important thing I want to leave them, is the desire to serve God. Yeah.
No, AJ, one of the things that we were talking before, I saw the calmness, because I think it's important that if it's okay with you, to share what happened to your parents, and look how you handled it. You like to share that if it's okay?
Yeah, that's fine. October.
It's not a lot of people that went through that experience of yours would be able to still, what you did, what you share with me, it's amazing. So what happened to Dad, your father?
Yeah, my dad was sick, and he got hospitalized in October of last year, and he passed away October 18th, which was my Lola's birthday. And I remember that day I was talking on the phone with my mom and my Lola, because my mom was in the Philippines, and she told her during her birthday that my dad passed, and my mom was very strong, there's nothing wrong with her. She had been in the Philippines for a while. And so that was very difficult for me, because I was very close to my father. I'm the oldest child. I had to make all the decisions as far as like pulling the plug, all those things. Oh, it was just
really... And you're doing it from here.
Because no one else was helping, like nobody else could. And it was my duty. Like I felt like it was my duty as his daughter to do that for him. And I found the doctor on Facebook and Messenger. I messaged her on Messenger and told her, I am the daughter of blah, 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 blah. You're the doctor and I need you to call me, talk to me. So that's how I found her. It's crazy, but God made a way for that. And then, so I was able to get all my brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews to say bye to him, or say hi to him for the last time. And then, so that was October 18th. And then my mom had to come home at the end of October. I picked her up at the airport. But I was very adamant about the fact that she shouldn't have come back, because that's when COVID was really, really bad. And in the Philippines, she was in a little small town where we stayed in Pasig, Iloilo, and it was kind of like it was just there. It was contained. But she came back because she had to for some reasons. And the week of Christmas, she contracted COVID, and I think Monday after Christmas, I made my sisters who live with her still take her to the hospital, because her oxygen level was so low. like almost to the point of ready to pass out probably. And so she ended up staying in the hospital, and she was getting better for like a week, and then she had to do like a small operation for her heart, and she never came out of it. And so, you know, we were zooming every day, and it was crazy because I set up Zoom with the hospital twice a day. They must have, I bugged them, you know, like I would Zoom with my mom every day, twice a day, and just praying and, you know, playing worship music and stuff with her, and having Bible study and just talking to her. And then Friday of January 22nd, we said bye to her, and then about an hour later, I got a phone call from the hospital, and when I saw the number, I knew there was something wrong already. But she was already getting better. We thought she was going to pull through already, and then they called and said your mom didn't make it. And so that was hard for me because I didn't get to say anything to her before she went under. She was trying to take off her mask to tell me something, but they had her hands tied to the bed.
Yeah.
Because she was pulling it off, and I didn't know what she said. I had no idea what she was saying, and I don't even know what she wanted to tell me. And I hated that nurse. You know, I was like, so I wanted to just gusto kong sakalin. I was like, I just wanted to, you know, because they didn't let me talk to her. And I said, okay, Mom, just talk to me when you come out of it. But you know, she didn't come out of it, and so that was hard for me. I was screaming, yelling, hitting everything. I mean, I was very. Yeah, that was the worst. And then, you know, my brother, none of us took it well. But the thing that I think the reason why I'm at peace is because that night when she passed away, I prayed and I asked God to please show me that she's okay, that she's in heaven, that she's with him. Just show me, give me something, you know, something I can hold on to, because it's hard to lose not just one parent, but both. Oh, you know, hello. It was both parents. Now I had both, they were both gone. And, that night I had a dream. Right before I woke up, my dream was I was in my mom's room and I was looking at all her things because she had a lot of stuff. And I said, oh my gosh, Mom, what am I going to do with all your stuff? You have so many things. What am I going to do with all this? And all of a sudden she pops her head into the room. I see my mom, but she was her young, beautiful, long hair self, full of joy, like smiling, radiant. And she said, hi, Jean. She calls me Jean. She goes, it's okay, Jean. I know you'll take care of everything. You know, I know you can do it. I know you always have. And then she said, but you know, you won't see me anymore. Oh, you know, but she said it without sadness. That's the thing that I will not forget, was that she was smiling, happy, you know, that joy that only you get from God. She had it. I saw it. I saw her. And then I woke up and I was screaming and crying and freaking out, of course, but that was my answered prayer.
Yeah.
So
see, look.
But it was the truth, because that was my prayer, and I haven't just prayed. That's not the only time I have dreams. I still dream about them once in a while, you know, like, and I see them and they're happy. My mom, my dad, my tito. Like I was in a place that it was all white. I got to see. I think like I got to see them in heaven. I don't know. I just get all these dreams of them, like always happy and together, and just I don't know. I just thank God I get those dreams. I've always had dreams, you know. He's always showed me dreams.
Well, you of the red bikini.
Yeah, that's why. So I've always had, like, you know, God gives us all these gifts, like visions and all this stuff. So we have to just be conscious of them so we can hear the message or hear Him. So I think that because of that, I am at peace.
Isn't it they call it the gift of the Holy Spirit, gift of God?
No, it's there's 9 gifts. You know, there are 9 gifts. It's like prophet. It's like I made a way to memorize them all. You know, the gift of prophecy, the gift. There's healing. There's speaking in tongues. And then what else? It's miraculous. The miracle gifts, and then discernment. You know, and wisdom. You know, wisdom. All those things. Wisdom. There's 9 gifts and 9 fruits of the Spirit. But we have to have the Holy Spirit in order to get those gifts. So. And that's the most important part, because, you know, the Holy Spirit is Him inside us, you know, right? So if we have Him inside us, that's why greater is He who is within us than he who is of the world, right? Because we are like little gods, you know. We have Jesus inside us, and the Holy Spirit is the one who connects us to God the Father. So I think that's okay.
Hey, Jay, what was your process in forgiving the people who had hurt you? Was that a process? Was it time? What was the process? What process did you follow, or is it more you just pray for it? Because a lot of people are texting us, especially on my other show. They always want to know, and of course I cannot advise because I'm not in the space that you are in.
Yes.
And it's so tough. Like, how do you forgive a person who really, really hurt you so bad that it really cost a future? You know, how do you do that?
Okay, so I could, I could sit here and say it was time, but time didn't heal some of my wounds. You can't. I mean, I could say that you just pray, but it does help to pray for them, but it's hard to do because you hate them practically, right? So I don't know if it was a process more than a realization for me that until I let God take it from me, that it would never leave me. You know, but for us to be able to receive new things in our lives, we have to let go of the old ones. So we should just, in order for, if you want new things, new blessings, new relationships, new anything, you have to be willing to let go. You know, that's the hard part. And I think it's more of the realization that you have to just let go. I think some of us like to hold on to that pain because it's like, it makes us feel alive.
Yeah.
Okay? Even though it's not good for us. But I think it's something that was a part of our life that was like so real. That's why they don't want to let go, because if you let go, it also means that you let go of all the good things that happened, right? All the good that came with it. And those are the things that they don't want to let go of. But it's okay, because if you let go and you let God, He will give you even better things. Yeah, and I am proof of that.
They always say, remember, if they said, let go, let God.
Yes, but that's true. Because if you do that, it's hard, because a lot of us, we're like those people. I don't know if you heard this story of all the people at the church, and they're all in front of the altar, and they all have their hands like this. They're asking God for blessings. But this is the thing. Most of us are so busy looking at the other person's blessings that we either miss our blessing, or we just pour it out. We don't even know it's there, and we just pour it out. That's sad, right? Because we don't concentrate on our own. Like, we just have to receive. We don't have to worry about his blessing or her blessing, but we do that. That's human nature, I guess.
Yeah.
So
and it's really tough. Now, a lot of people are asking me, how do we follow AJ? Because most of them are so touched with what you have shared. What are the platforms that they could follow you? Because and the reason why I'm asking that is because while I subscribed already before in your platforms, in your Facebook account, and it's so interesting what I've seen about the scriptures, and sometimes you share what happened to you about the wallet that you lost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So I'm gonna start. That's another. Well, right now, they can find me on YouTube. They actually just have to put Anjanette verses or King James version. But I'm also gonna have another channel called the Always Jesus Ministries. That will be another channel, but that will have all the NIV versions. And I have over 100 videos already of verses for sleep, for healing, for everything. And I want to start another one, or maybe have a radio show, about these things, verses, and how they relate to us in our lives today.
And that's so timely.
How God works in our lives
now, especially now. This is it's not a push. It's just coming from where you were before and where you are now. And people would see the calmness on you. I mean, and the happiness. It's beaming. Always been pretty, always been that. But now I could see you're beaming with so much joy and peace. And I was telling you earlier, when you go, and to the listeners and viewers of our radio, try going to Anjanette Abayari and subscribe. Because there's a lot of scriptures that she would read, and then there's healing, there's sleeping, and there's so many things that she would share.
There's even all the red letters.
Yeah, things that happened to you in that day, and you're just rejoicing. Look for the lost wallet. There's
another one called Power of Prayer. It's a poem that I actually wrote, and the video for that is I made that video because. That's how it was when we have this power. It's about the power of prayer and how we're always we're looking at everything we have and we're not grateful. It's a great. That's one of my favorite videos. I wrote it after I was in filming of on the set somewhere and I was at some squatter area. I remember, and I was crying because somebody was writing all these write-ups about me, and they were so wrong and bad and mean. And I was crying in my van, and then they called me on the set, and I walk across this bridge, and it's that Madumi River, and then it's like, and then all the squatter kids are like, no shirt, no shoes, no roof on their houses and stuff, and I'm walking across, and then all of a sudden I got convicted. Like, why are you complaining about this stupid article when all these people don't even have shoes or clothes or anything, and you're over here crying over that? Like, I felt so bad all of a sudden. So I said, Direct, I need 5 minutes. And I remember because I went to back and I wrote this poem called The Power of Prayer from that experience.
Yeah, and the reason why we kind of preempt, there's a possibility AJ will be joining. We'll have a show at PHLV Radio, and she will be talking more about the ministry and the evangelism and the sharing. I call it the sharing of things that happened to her and where she's now. And it's so refreshing in my mind to hear things like that, because you for some reason, like when you listen to some of the things you've done, especially the videos, it hits home. It's so weird, and I always believe that the Supreme Being has a way of communicating to you. Because I always tell a friend, imagine if God talks to you with a burning bush, that would be too scary. So I believe that He used people to convey and to communicate to you. And there's one, it's another discussion next time. There's one that I listened and I said, oh my God, it hits home. That's why I called you right away. I said, AJ, you need to guess.
Right? Yeah.
Thank you for that. So it's Anjanette Abayari, right?
Yeah, you can even put just Anjanette versus. I think Anjanette KJV. Yeah, that's the.
Here, we posted out.
It's Anjanette Abayari YouTube channel. Yeah, and then yeah, that's the one. Thank you. No, there's over 100 something video. I even have short prayers, like 3 to 5 minute prayers, how to start your day. Just stuff like just little ones. And I think that one right there that you see in the very left side of the screen is like the most popular of all my prayers. And you can just pray along. Some of them you can read along, some of them you can pray along. And they're very anointed.
And especially
a lot of these prayers.
When I read the scriptures, I always do that while I'm about to sleep. I just let it play. And then I fall asleep, and
that's the best way to fall asleep, right?
You feel blessed, and then at the same time, it's just a different.
Because His peace comes over you.
Yeah,
the peace of the Lord that transcends all understanding.
And you become grateful. Seriously, you become very grateful. Mm-hmm. I mean, with all the things that's happening in the world, with all the drama that's happening, and the scary thing about the virus, then you hear something uplifting, something blessed, and thank you for that, AJ, for doing that.
Oh yeah, well, that's my duty. My duty. I have to.
Okay, 2 other things that I'd like. What was the worst rumor that was said about you that you want to correct?
I don't know. I try not to remember my rumors, especially if they're not true. Like in the Philippines, especially, I think I had a rumor left or right, like here, everywhere, all the time. So I don't know. I know. Well, there's like supposedly like this, all these. Yeah, I don't know. I had so many. I can't remember. I cannot pinpoint any that I want to correct because, if you hear something, let me just say this: if anybody hears something and they want to know if it's true, all they got to do is ask me, and I'll tell them. Because there's so many things that are.
That, especially the being dethroned, because I know for a fact you were not dethroned. Mm-hmm. That you did disappear. I mean, you just want a peaceful, quiet life. Now, how do you want AJ to be remembered? Not that you're going to die tomorrow. How do you remember Anjanette Abayari?
I want to be remembered as someone who, I don't know, like, I just want to be remembered as somebody who loves God, loves the Lord, and, I was instrumental to His kingdom. That's what I want to be, how I want to be remembered, because you know what? That's the most important thing to me, because that's where we're all going to end up, those of us, so I just want to be remembered, as, I don't know, just that girl, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think my movies will live on forever, you know, and that's already like a test like my memorial is like my movies. They're gonna be there forever. So now I want to remember for all these scriptures and being able to spread this word, to be able to share the good news to the world. That's how I want to be remembered now. I want everybody to remember me as someone who was able to make a difference in one person's life. Even just one person who is able to share everything about God that people don't know. You know, like there's so many things that I didn't know that I just learned in the last few years that I think a lot of people don't know that because, you know, I think, oh, well, now that I know this, I think everybody knows it. But I know there's a lot of things that I talked to my sister about that I'm surprised that there's a lot of misconceptions about the Bible or about Jesus, or there's a lot of things that we don't even know that are so deep that I've been able to luckily, I've been able to been given the chance to learn or to realize or you know, I've been given a great teacher, you know, like Gary.
I know. I mean, imagine if anything you need an explanation, you just go to Gary.
I'm like blessed every day. I get Bible study without asking. I get any question I have about heaven, about the rapture, about everything, tribulation, everything, anything, you know. And then whenever something happens, when I feel like. One time I was working, it was like 2 a.m. and I was so tired, but I was trying to finish this video. And I remember because Gary was like watching me and he was just saying, you know, the Lord appreciates, you know, the Lord sees everything you're doing, you know, and, you know, I'm like, whatever, you know, I just hear him. But then his phone rang, it was Messenger, and it was somebody calling him. And I'm like, who's calling you at 2 a.m, right? So he answers it, and it's a pastor, a pastor from Africa, okay? And the pastor says that he said he was preparing his congregation, his service, and he had to stop and the Lord put it in his heart to call Gary to tell him that the work that we are doing is not in vain. That's what he said. And I said, huh? You know, I was like, what? So Gary like hung up the phone, like going, you know what just happened? That was a miracle, you know, because God just spoke. He just said it to me, and then this pastor calls and confirms just exactly the same thing Gary just said to me. And from Africa, of all places, I'm like, and then he had to go. He just got off the phone because he had to do his service. I'm like, what just happened? It's just so amazing. Yeah.
Now, AJ, the question they have is there any Bible study by Zoom that Gary is doing?
Oh, I want to do that now. I'm going to try. I was thinking about that today, and we should do a Bible study like once a week on Zoom. And we'll let you know as soon as.
Let us know so we post it. Yeah, because a lot of people on my other phone is asking, is there a way they could like a Bible study or Bible group that like once a week?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Especially now. Since Gary's evangelism, evangelism, that would be awesome. So just let us know.
Okay.
Before we end, let me shout out to all these people.
Okay.
Rodriguez, hello, nice to see you. Look great. And then Catherine Rodriguez, Faith, Amen, Tani Christensen says, my beautiful Anjanette. Paul,
Tani, that's my best friend. Tani, that's my best friend.
Roy Nick Hernandez from Quezon City. Hi, Roy Nick. Hi, Ida.
That's my tita. That's my tita.
Yeah.
Tita Ida.
Yeah.
Oh, then my former assistant in the Philippines, Rena Sal Cruz. Hi, Ren. Oh, there's come here, son. Let me show you my 11-year-old and how tall he is now. Come here. I gotta show you. That's how tall he is. Okay, wait, look at how tall he is. You can't even see him. Look how tall he is compared to me. Wait, I'm gonna make him go.
Oh my God.
Okay, wait, I'm gonna stand up. Wait, let me show you how tall he is, okay? This is how tall he is compared to me. Huh? He's 11.
Aston is not a baby anymore. Hi, Aston.
Say hi, Josh. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so I know we were waiting for you earlier. Okay. All right.
Praise God, she said. And then Sharon Shawson said, hi, Idol. Rena Stel Cruz Salan, hi, Jing. And then Campbell, praise the Lord. Catherine, touch other person's life. Si Abe Pantama.
Oh, hi, Abe. Long time no see, Abe.
And Carmi Santos is watching from Quezon City. So there's people watching also from Poland. the Marcoses. That's from my other phone. They're watching, and then Intradicious watching from Qatar. Hello, Darna.
I will never shed that. It's okay.
Does it bother you? They still
No.
because
Because
it doesn't bother you when they forget AJ or Anjanette. They just call you Darna.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's okay. That means I portrayed the role well, and that means I still look good. If they can see Darna and me still after how many years, hey, I'm not gonna complain.
So they could follow you on YouTube, Anjanette Abayari, or Anjanette Scriptures, or Anjanette Praise.
Verses, yeah.
Verses.
Yeah.
Okay, please do follow her, and
Yes.
then she has so many videos that you could listen to. Anjanette, AJ, before we close, what's your message to the world?
To the world,
Parang Darna.
right? Yes. Well, no. My message to the world is, Jesus is coming. No, my message is that everybody has to stop and always remember that everything that's happening in the world is supposed to be happening. We have to be conscious of everything now, and we have to be prayerful, and we have to ask for repentance, and we have to start forgiving each other. A lot of people this is happening to a lot of people because people don't forgive. Everybody's angry in the world now, and I think God is just sending us a message. So if you want to go to heaven, ask for the Holy Spirit and repent. And ask him to show you how to forgive if you don't know how to forgive, like you're asking me about earlier. If it's hard for you to forgive, ask God to show you or give you a heart that forgives, so that you can learn how to forgive.
Which is not an easy task.
Yes, but with God anything is possible, right?
Exactly. Praise, amen. Well, AJ, I told you. See, we're an hour and 40 minutes. See, we were thinking, right? Like, what are we gonna talk about? And I said, don't worry about it. Time flies.
You can talk forever, though. Yeah, me and you can talk forever. So
you know that. That's why I can't wait. Hopefully, everything pan out. That you will have a show with PHLV Radio.
Yeah.
I think a show like what you could share would be very inspirational, and it would touch a lot of people's lives, especially in this day and age that we really need something to hold on to our faith, and something that you could share, because you have an array of experiences.
Oh yes.
Good, bad, not so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm writing my book, so my book is gonna be titled, or I'm not sure yet, but I think I'm gonna name it Fame, Failure, and Faith Through It All.
That's nice. So you're writing an autobiography?
Well, I'm trying to. I don't know if I'll ever get around to finishing it, but it's like difficult to write when it's about yourself, But I'm trying to just trying to gather everything together that I can about these three things, because everything I've done in my life.
So it's gonna be. I think it will be good to have it, because one, it's another legacy you could share. At the same time, people would be able to understand, where you were before, where you are then, and where you are now. Mm-hmm. And it could be inspiring to a lot of people.
Yeah, I want to be able to be an inspiration to younger women. That's really what I want. I want younger women to be touched by whatever experiences, or learn from my experiences, and be able to know that there's always somebody out there that they can ask, like me, that if they ever had any kind of doubts or questions about anything they're going through. Yeah. And that they're all worth something, and none of them should feel like they're worthless. Okay.
There's a question on my other phone. Can they message you on your YouTube message?
I think on Messenger or YouTube. Is there a message on YouTube? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a message on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Comments. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They do. Yeah, because I always I reply to the comments. Also, Facebook, when the scriptures, AJ scriptures they're also on Facebook, so they can message me there also. Yeah.
You want to be more inspired.
That's good. That's good. That's
awesome.
Yeah, God is the best inspiration. So
I know, and we're all instruments of that.
Yes.
AJ, thank you so much. Okay, Dara, thank you. See, the baton now, the stone is really God that you put in your mouth.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you, and I close. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your inspirational messages, and thank you for sharing that portion of you that people would understand why you're keeping a low profile and what you have done so far. And this is huge, better than, except for the Darna movie, better than all
Yeah.
together.
Yes, exactly. Thank
So
you, Josh.
I close all my shows by saying, be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness, and any act of kindness, there will always be a way of getting back to you. With that, we close. AJ, thank you, and I'll give you all the information you need for your radio show. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Josh. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Have a nice week, and thank you. Say hello to Gary and the kids.
I will.
Bye-bye, you guys. Have a nice
Bye,
week.
everyone.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Just like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV.